life and raise your family and work a decent job, and you take a look at what's happening to our state, we have the highest in the nation poverty, where 1 in 5 Californians lives below the poverty line. We have the highest in the nation homelessness that went up by 13.7% last year. We now have these open border policies and sanctuary state policies where people that have come here illegally, that are committing crimes while they are here, are now being sheltered with our taxpayer dollars. Think about this. This makes no sense. This is not talking about someone's grandmother sitting on a couch. This is talking about sheltering people who are committing crimes while they're here in California. We all know that this is wrong. We all know that the Bible teaches impartiality of justice, right? It doesn't matter whether they're rich or poor, small or great. There is one set of scales, one set of weights for everyone. And that has been skewed in California. I was born in California. I was raised here. I was born in San Diego. I was raised 5 minutes from the border in a little town called Chula Vista. I have lived here my entire life, and I've had to watch as my parents have left. They now live in the southern Oregon coast. They wanted to build their home on the coast, but it was too expensive in California, so now they're in Oregon. My brother works for Raytheon. Those jobs used to be in Los Angeles. Now they're in Tucson, Arizona, because of all the terrible economic policies of the California Democrats. My best friend moved to Texas, where he doubled the size of his house, doubled the size of his business, and he pays no state income tax. And I'm a business owner by trade. I manage money. Started managing money in '96, opened up my company in 2001. I still work every single day because I believe that your elected officials should have to live and work in the real world like the rest of you, right? And I will tell you that my clients all started in California. They now live in 22 different states around the nation because their businesses left, their families left, and their jobs left. Many of us cannot leave. Even though 243,000 Californians have left on balance in the last 7 years and taken $8 billion with them, including all my family and my friends, as you well know, many of us can't leave. You all know from your churches, from your parishes, from your congregations, many people that they're just trying to get by. They're just trying to put food on their table, make sure their kids get through school, get to work on time, pay their rent, pay their mortgage bills at the end of the month, right? Yeah. This is the normal life in California, but it's been made incredibly difficult because of all these policies of the one-sided political system in California. There is value to having two political parties, a healthy discourse between both sides, push and pull, and some competition. Competition makes everyone better, right? But that's no longer the case in California. In California, one political party controls the entire state. All of the top offices, supermajorities in the Senate and the Assembly, only broken recently by their sexual harassment allegations where a couple of them got thrown out of office. Look, let me tell you, Detroit used to be the 4th greatest city in the United States. For 6 decades, they only elected one political party, Democrats. Now you can buy a home for $1, and they do urban farming in the middle of the city. It's a black hole. It's a wasteland. The city of San Francisco has not elected a Republican mayor in over 50 years. And it's no surprise now that you have 22,000 intravenous drug users on the street every single day. It's gotten so bad in that city, you need maps so you know which streets you can walk on and which streets you should avoid because of all the human waste. Little kids got to go to elementary school walking over hypodermic needles on their sidewalks. And those sidewalks glitter, but it's not diamonds. It's all the smashed in car windows because they had 31,000 car break-ins last year alone. Think about this. One law, Proposition 47, authored by Gavin Newsom, the former mayor of San Francisco, who is running to be the governor of California. I will tell you right now, he will never achieve that office because Travis Allen, me, and you are going to stop him. But he passed one law, Proposition 47. It was called the Safe Neighborhoods Act. Let me tell you how safe this made your neighborhoods. One law made any personal drug use, any drug use, a misdemeanor, a slap on the wrist. This is why people are now shooting up on the sidewalks in San Francisco. This is why in July they're not going to open up 1, but 2 legalized heroin injection centers. This is what Gavin Newsom wants for the rest of the state. Can you imagine legalized heroin injection centers in your neighborhoods? Can you imagine people shooting up on the sidewalk in your neighborhoods? That's what he did with Proposition 47, but it gets worse. Because in Proposition 47, he took any theft of $950 or less and made it like a traffic citation. Yeah. A slap on the wrist misdemeanor. Thieves are now going into grocery stores and all sorts of other stores with calculators. Calculating until they get up to $950, then they walk out the door and on to the next store. Oh. Think about this. What do you get when you get unlimited drug use and unlimited theft below $950? Wow. You're going to get a lot of drug use. You're going to get a lot of theft. You're going to get the streets of San Francisco, which have turned into a human wasteland. I will tell you right now, this is the future that Jerry Brown, Gavin Newsom, and the California Democrats are promising you. I'm not even going to begin to talk about this transgender bathroom bill where little boys and little girls are using the same restroom. I won't even begin to talk about the AIDS bill where they took the knowing and willing transmission of AIDS or HIV to another person from a felony down to a misdemeanor. Giving someone a life sentence is now a misdemeanor slap on the wrist. We don't even need to go there. You can just take a look at these soft on crime bills. And you can take a look at the open border policies and the sanctuary state policies, which resulted in the death of Kate Steinle. Yeah. Just a beautiful young girl walking down the pier with her father in San Francisco, had done nothing wrong. Shot in the back by someone who had already been deported 5 times and was a 7-time felon. Wow. That person never should have been here. Never should have been here. But you know what? Thanks to the sanctuary city policies of Gavin Newsom, he was and the California Democrats, he was released just months earlier by the sheriff of San Francisco. Because that person was released, he was able to shoot Kate Steinle in the back. As Kate Steinle laid in her dad's arms, dying, she said, "Help me, Daddy. Help me." Think about this. One Kate Steinle tragedy in California is one too many. We all know the story of the Levite who came to Benjamin and he needed a place to stay. He had his concubine with him, his girlfriend, if you will. He found a place to stay. But the person said, really, you shouldn't stay here tonight because the people of this town, these are very bad people. And he said, no, it'll be fine. We'll stay till the morning. We'll be okay. We're very tired. So he said, fine, if you must, then come in. That one person from Benjamin let him in the house and they had dinner. But as they were sitting there at dinner, they heard pounding on the door. And it was all the people from the town. They were pounding on the door, demanding that Levite's girlfriend, his concubine, demanding that he let her out so they could ravage her all night long. And he wouldn't let her. But they kept on pounding on the door, and finally they ripped her out of the house. And that's exactly what they did. The men of that town of Benjamin, they ravaged that woman all night long until she lay dead on the doorstep to be discovered the next morning as the Levite woke up. The Levite took out a knife. He cut the dead body of his concubine, of his girlfriend, into 12 parts. And he sent these parts to every single one of the tribes in Israel. And he said, "Here, Israel, this is what your land has turned into. This is what has happened in Benjamin. We cannot allow this to stand." And every single tribe rose up and they said, "This is injustice. This is evil in our land. And we are a godly land." The name Israel means wrestles with God. The land of Israel is the covenant of God with the Jewish people. They know they're holy and they saw unholiness in their midst. I will tell you right now, California has evil walking the streets. When you have to see felons getting out of jail early, felonies turning into misdemeanors. A judge just ruled 8 weeks ago that over 10,000 sex offenders are going to be released early from jail into your communities thanks to Jerry Brown's Proposition 57. You know, ladies and gentlemen, that evil walks among us. And I will tell you that every single one of you in this room knows the Bible. Some of you preach it, some of you just read it. But I hope that every single one of you live it. Because this is not an empty book of morality. This is not a dusty old book that sits on the shelf. This is the living and breathing Word that demands that you live a good moral life. Yeah. And it gives you a very simple law to follow. Yeah. Very simple. Honor your God. Treat your neighbor as you would yourself. and follow that law. Think about this. We have lawlessness now in California. Lawlessness. They are breaking federal laws. They are violating state laws. They are putting every single one of us in danger. They're putting your congregations in danger. They're putting your families, your friends. They're putting people you don't even know in danger. And you are responsible. Every single one of us is responsible. Every single one of us is complicit in their evil, in their terrible doings, unless we stand up and fight. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't fight with your whole heart, if you don't fight with everything that you have and every fiber of your being and every single member of your congregation, if you don't fight, that price is on your head. Because this is your responsibility. This is your state. This is where you have been placed by God in California, in this land right here, right now. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, right now, all we have is today. We don't know what happens tomorrow. We know that we all woke up and we all feel great. We're all walking around. We have all of our full capacity. You must use every single bit of your full capacity every single day to do the right thing, and the Bible demands nothing less from you. When you see in California that 1 in 5 people lives below the poverty line, when you see in California rampant homelessness and people on the streets and politicians that are only too happy to let them stay there, then you know that there is evil among you. When they passed a law last year that came into effect January of this year that legalized child prostitution, you know that evil walks in California. And its face is the face of the California Democrat Party leadership. I will tell you, they passed a law. And you know what? I took a lot of fire for telling the truth about this law. And I'll let you judge for yourself. This law that was passed said that anyone under 18 years of age that solicits themselves for prostitution, engages in the act of prostitution, or pimps another into prostitution is no longer guilty of a crime. Does that sound like legalization to you? You know, I'm just a lawmaker, but I will tell you that is legalization. Now, Snopes.com, the Democrat Party leadership, pundits around the country say, oh no, Travis, they didn't legalize it. They just decriminalized it. Lies. These are lies. They legalized it. And you know what the second lie they say is, no, Travis, they didn't legalize child prostitution. It's still illegal for an adult to engage in prostitution with that minor. Well, wait a second. You just said that it's legal for the minor, but it's illegal for the adult. That means that it's still legal for the minor. Yeah. Think about this. Yeah. Think about every single person you know, young boys, young girls, standing on a street corner soliciting themselves. Your friends, your family, your neighbors. If they are under 18 years of age and they're soliciting themselves on that street corner, there is nothing you can do. There is nothing a police officer can do. You can walk up to them and say, you can't do this. And they can say, you are violating my rights. Get out of my face. I am in no immediate physical danger. If a police officer believes that they are in immediate physical danger, then and only then can they apprehend them. But all they can do is take them to their local county social services agency, where that person is free to walk out the very next moment and back onto the streets. No crime, no accountability, no safety. Listen, these are our kids. These are our friends, our family, our neighbors. Yeah. They are now able to solicit themselves on the street corners. They are now able to be trafficked. And there's nothing that we can do about this. All they got to do is walk away and say, I'm not in any immediate physical danger. And even if they were, the best that happens, they go into a county social service agency, which is not ready to accommodate them anyway. They walk out minutes or hours later, right back onto the street. Think about this. Ladies and gentlemen, evil walks in California, and it has a face. And that face is Gavin Newsom and the California Democrat Party. I will tell you right now that standing before you is a choice. It's a choice between right and wrong. It's a choice between keeping our families together, believing in the basic morality that not just the Bible teaches, but that everybody knows to be true. Morality that says that the knowing transmission of AIDS to another person is a real crime. Morality that says little boys should go to little boys' room and little girls should go to little girls' room. Morality that says that someone that is below the age of 18 should never be allowed to prostitute themselves in California. And if they do, they should be apprehended and be able to be put someplace where they can actually get the help that they need, mandated by the courts. They don't criminalize these kids. Think about this. They put them where they can get the help they need. Nobody wants to criminalize a child. What they want to do is they want to get them off the streets, away from their pimps. Get them to the help that they need. The most vulnerable Californians have now been left even more vulnerable by the California Democrats. Think about this. Thanks to the California Democrats. Thanks to the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, which is funded by George Soros, who was a Jewish guy who actually sold out his own people to the German Nazis when he was young. Think about the morality of this man. Now funds the ACLU. He is now funding district attorney races across the state of California because he does not want to see our laws enforced. He wants soft on crime laws because he is truly trying to destroy everything that we know to be good and right, not just in California, not just in America, but around the world. Number one contributor to Gavin Newsom and the California Democrat Party. Number one contributor to groups like the ACLU and others. It is the ACLU that tells cities that you can no longer round up these homeless people. These homeless people that need our help, that are on the sidewalks, that are on the side of the road, they're sleeping underneath our bridges. Cities can no longer enforce their loitering laws, their anti-camping laws, and their vagrancy laws. Because the ACLU and George Soros, aided and abetted by the California Democrat Party, will sue to keep those most vulnerable people in the most vulnerable position possible. Think about this. I have a very simple solution. It is to have a state institution where we can actually enforce our laws and have these people go, where they can get the help that they need, the mental health services, the substance abuse services. If they just need a roof over their head to get a job, we'll provide that. But no longer will they be allowed to sleep on our streets. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to us. We deserve clean streets. We deserve clean cities. We deserve a clean state. And those among us that are the most vulnerable, they might not even know that they need help. But if they are prostituting themselves on street corners, if they are sleeping on the side of our roads, if they are shooting themselves full of drugs in subway systems in San Francisco, I'll tell you right now, my name's Travis Allen, and they need our help. And by God, we're going to help them.
All right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
I want to tell you about how that story with the Levite turned out in Benjamin. And by the way, I've been to Benjamin. I've been to Israel 9 times.
Oh.
I know that of which I'm speaking, and you can as well. It's about a page and a half in the Bible. Doesn't take much. I would encourage every single one of you to go and preach that tomorrow in your church. And tell them, here's the very simple message. That Levite cut up his dead concubine, his dead girlfriend, 12 different parts. She'd been ravaged all night long by the evil men of Benjamin. And he sent it to the 4 corners of the land of Israel, to every single tribe. And he said, this, Israel, is your land. This is the injustice happening in your land. I am here to tell you, my name's Travis Allen, and this is the injustice happening in your land. This is happening in your congregations, in your cities, in your churches. And unless we rise up today to fight against it, unless we all get out there and vote on June 5th, and then again in November, and get everybody else we can to vote, then we are complicit in what is going on in California. I will tell you, I'm just one Californian, but I will not be complicit. I will stand and fight. I will be held accountable. As you all know, this is being broadcast around the internet and around the world, and thank God for that, because we will not leave our lanterns hidden under a bush. We will hold them up on top of a hill for our light to be seen by everyone across the nations. Every single tribe got one part of that concubine. They rose up and they said, this is evil. They all marched on Benjamin and they came to that town and they told the whole realm, the whole tribe of Benjamin, give us up these people that ravaged and killed this poor woman. Give them up to us that we may execute justice upon them. And Benjamin wouldn't do it. Benjamin mustered their entire army, and one tribe fought against all of the rest. And you know what happened? The men of Israel did exactly what they should have done. They executed justice. Because I will tell you, if you've learned one thing from the Bible, is that God himself says, I am a God of justice. There is no justice in California today. Prop 47, Prop 57, AB 109, children able to solicit themselves on street corners, homelessness everywhere, and poverty everywhere. That is not justice. That is injustice. The tribes of Israel defeated the tribe of Benjamin until there was only 600 men of Benjamin left. And they were standing on a hilltop. And the men of Benjamin said, is this enough? Would you wipe out one of the tribes of Israel from the earth? And they all wept. All of the tribes in Benjamin all wept. And they said, no, you've been punished enough. We have executed justice upon you. And they wept again because they realized that there were no more women and children left because they had all been gone. So those 600 men would not be able to perpetuate the tribe of Benjamin any longer throughout history, as was ordained by God. And so the tribes got together and they said, we have to come up with a solution. So they said, there's a festival. It's a spring festival. It's a harvest festival. It's in Shiloh. And in Shiloh, the virgins come out and dance. We tell you, every single one of you 600 men or Benjamin, go hide in the forest. And when you see those virgins come out and dance, you all go out and grab one for yourself. And we'll tell the people of Shiloh it's okay. Because this is God's will. We gotta make sure the tribe of Benjamin is perpetuated. Every single year from then on, they held a celebration in Shiloh for every single one of those members of Benjamin that was able to perpetuate the tribe of Benjamin. It is a festival of happiness. It is a festival of renewal. Because you see, there is justice. And there's justice that must be executed. I am the only person in the state of California that wants to see justice executed on people like Charles Manson, who was kept alive for decades. Decades. Were we ever going to rehabilitate this guy? I'm the only candidate in the race that actually believes in the death penalty for the worst crimes in California. We have over 700 people on death row right now, costing $75 million to the taxpayers. I don't even care about the money. It's about justice to the families. It's about justice in the land. Amen. This Golden State, that's okay, yeah. This Golden State Killer, he's going one place. It's not jail. He's out of here. He's going to get a one-way ticket out, and he's not coming back. Ladies and gentlemen, we must have justice in California. I will tell you, every single year, they had a celebration in Shiloh for the renewal of the tribe of Benjamin because they had paid their price. Justice had been executed. And the people all came together and they said, thank you so much. Now we can move on. Because we all know that there is justice in the land. When Travis Allen is your governor of the state of California, if you're a criminal in California, if you do the crime, you will serve the time. If they tell us we're going to have jail cells, we will build more. But no longer will there be injustice. The victims of families will have justice. We as people will have justice. We are the state of 3 strikes, which is why violent crime decreased for decades in California. It has now risen by 15.4% from 2014 to 2017, thanks to AB 109, Prop 47, and Prop 57. With Travis Allen as your governor, I'll repeal all of them, and we'll have justice again in California. And I'll give you a fun postscript to this story. The tabernacle, this is where the Ark of the Covenant was, in which was held the 10 Commandments, was in Shiloh for 369 years. It was the spiritual capital of Israel for 369 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on that hill in Shiloh 9 times. Wow. I got engaged in the vineyards of Shiloh just 2 years ago. And I just married my beautiful wife right here in California. I will tell you that this story is the story that every single Californian needs to hear. It is a story that says that there has been injustice, but that justice is coming. Mm-hmm. And when justice comes, the land will be healed. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, California is the 5th or 6th largest economy in the world. This is a great state, but we've been run into the ground. And injustice walks our streets today. This is up to you to take back California. I'm just one guy. My name's Travis Allen. I will be your next governor of the state of California, but I can't do it without your help. I can't do it without the help of every single member of every single one of your congregations. Today is Saturday. Tomorrow morning, I have a very simple ask. And I think if you look in your heart, you know it's not just me asking. I need every single one of you to preach this from your pulpits. I need every single one of you to get every single one of your churches, every single member that comes in to get out there and vote. There is only one candidate in the race that is pro-life, that believes in the value of the California family, that believes in justice in California. There's 2 Republicans. There's another Republican in the race. He has been bearing false witness to be up and down the state. You might recall that is one of the commandments. He has been lying about me up and down the state, about my record, about who I am, about what I've done and what I stand for. He has been copying every single word of every speech that I have made up and down the state. This guy is a fraud. This guy is a liar. He is from Chicago. He is trying to bring Chicago politics to California. It's no surprise that he's got money, right? It's no surprise that he's lost every race he's ever run in. President of the United States, U.S. Senate, U.S. Congress twice. County clerk recorder, lost every single time. Because I will tell you that people that will stoop to lying should never get the vote of the people that they're going to represent. I will tell you right now, there is only one candidate in the entire race that will win, that can win, and that should win. There's only one candidate in the race that can ask that very simple question on that debate stage that I asked just 2.5 weeks ago in that NBC debate. When I said to everybody listening in California, as I shared that stage with Gavin Newsom and the rest of the California Democrats, and I called out Gavin Newsom, the leader of the California Democrat Party, and I said on statewide TV that every single Californian who's watching could hear very clearly, if you can't trust Gavin Newsom with his best friend's wife, how can you trust him with your state? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your California Democrat Party. They no longer represent Californians. They no longer represent Californian Democrats. They represent a far left extreme agenda that is antithetical, that is opposite of everything that we believe in to be good and true and right. These are not words, ladies and gentlemen. This is action. That Bible is not a book of words. It is a book of action. And it demands your action. Amen. And I will tell you that as you have read, this thing came about suddenly. This is not for next year. This is not for 10 years. This is not to go home and think about for months and months and months. This is now. I will tell you, tomorrow you will be preaching in your churches. Tuesday, people are voting in the polls. Absentee ballots are out there voting as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a chance right now to save your state. You have a chance right now to put every single word that you read every single day, just like I do, into action. And I will tell you right now, if God is on our side, no one can stand against us. Amen. I'm going to leave you with one story. I'll tell you what, I might leave you with 2. I'm going to tell you first the story of Gideon. Gideon was just an Israelite. And he was in a land that was being oppressed. And he said, no more. No more. So he got 30,000 Israelites together with him. And he was going to go and fight that oppressive enemy in their land. But you know what? God said, you're not going to do this, Gideon. You got too many people with you. Gideon said, what? Well, we got to fight, don't we? God said, no, send them back. Send them back. So he sent them back until the 30,000 came down to 3,000. And Gideon said, okay, looks pretty good. Let's go fight. God said, no, I'm not done with you yet. Send more back. He only left with Gideon with 300 men. 300 against an army that couldn't be counted. 300 men. Because God said to Gideon, I want you to know that you will be saved by the hand of God, not by the hand of man. Amen. And what happened? Not only did Gideon win, Gideon kicked some serious tail. I will tell you right now, that's the power that we deal with. Amen. This is the power that when you are fighting for what is good and what is right, amen, everybody knows it, everybody sees it, everybody feels it, amen, and they act. I'm going to end with one story. There was a young boy. the youngest of all of his brothers. This guy was a shepherd's son. He just hung out with the animals. He was just a kid. Just a kid. All his brothers went off to go fight the Philistines, the occupying force in their land of Israel. And you know what? Every single Israelite was afraid because there was a Philistine there. And this guy was a badass. Excuse my language. This guy was incredible. He was tall. He was strong. He was powerful. He taunted all of the armies of Israel. He said, come on, bring me your best. Bring me your best. Every single one of them was weak in the knees. Every single one of them had no stomach, no heart for the fight. Except this one little boy. One little boy, a shepherd's son. You know what he said? He said, what shall be done to the man that kills this uncircumcised Philistine? What shall be done? And the people said, the king will look down with favor upon him. And he said, who is this man that dares challenge the armies of the living God? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? They're going to try to tell you that the polls are against us. They're going to try to tell you that the media is against us. They're going to try to tell you there's not enough Republicans in California to win. Let me remind you, the people of Israel have always been the fewest in number. God chose them not because they were the greatest, but because they were the fewest. Think about this. It's not numbers. It's not numbers when we got good and right on our side, ladies and gentlemen. It's not numbers when we got God on our side. We're doing the right thing in the state of California. When there is injustice in the land, homelessness, poverty, drugs, broken families, high taxes, there's only one thing to do. And that's to fight and that's to win. That Philistine stood in that field. And he taunted David. He challenged David. David ran at him. He didn't walk. He didn't cower. He ran to that challenge. He took his stone. He took his sling. And he sent it right into the middle of this Philistine's forehead. Sank into his forehead. He hit the ground. But he wasn't dead. He was just knocked out. David went to him, stood on him, took out the Philistine's sword, and cut off his head with his own sword. Ladies and gentlemen, that is insult to injury. That is victory. And I will tell you right now, that is what we march to in California. We will win this primary. We will win this general election. I will tell you right now, my name is Travis Allen. I will be your next governor. We will have justice in California. And we will take back California. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a very simple job. You have a very simple mission. Go and spread the word. As you know, if you go to a town and they are not receptive to your word, you dust off your shoes and you walk to the next town. Because I will tell you, you will not have gone through all of the towns of California until we take this state back. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Travis Allen. Get out there, preach the gospel on Sunday morning, and you preach to them gospel in action. You tell them this is your state, it belongs to you. It's about time we take it back. It's about time we send a message. It's about time we have a leader in California that believes in right and wrong and justice and believes that every single Californian owns this land. It belongs to you. A government of the people, by the people, for the people. Ladies and gentlemen, there is only one conservative in this race. There is only one person in this race with a record that you can trust, that you can believe in because you've seen it. Every word I've said, every speech I've made, every media interview I've done, every social media post I've ever done. You can research all of those. I am a man of my word, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to take back this state with your help. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Travis Allen. God bless you. Let's get that word out tomorrow. And let's go take back California. Thank you.